Hello ASS, welcome back to yet another video. I hope you guys are doing well today. As you can tell by the title, I am going to be doing a video where I just sit down and talk to you guys and open up about certain parts of my life, because I feel like not a lot of people know about my family dynamic and so forth. So if that is something that you are interested in seeing today, please go ahead and keep on watching. And if you are new here, hi, my name is Brenda. I go by Beyond BSA. If you would like to join my little community of BSA, please go ahead and subscribe down below. Also turn on your post notifications so you know when I post a new video, and it does really help me out. Also, if you enjoyed this video at all, please go ahead and give it a huge thumbs up, because it does help out my channel in various ways as well. And with that being said, you guys, let's just go ahead and jump right into today's video. Oh my gosh, where to even start, you guys? My life has been a crazy one, but I do feel like I am blessed either way. I may not be where I want to be, or had the life that I wish that I did, but I never take for granted what I do have right now in the moment. And I never just because I wish that I was somewhere else doesn't mean that I don't appreciate what I have right now, because I always think about the less fortunate and how people have gone through way worse. But I try not to let that be something, I want to validate my feelings on my own, and I don't ever want to minimize how I feel about something just because I feel like somebody else has gone through something way worse than me, because that is not fair to anyone. Nobody should have to be told that. Your feelings are always valid, and your feelings always matter, and it is such a awful thing to tell somebody to get over something just because somebody else is probably living through something way worse. You always have to know that your feelings are valid. And also, before I start talking about myself and my life and everything, I just want to let anybody who comes across this video know that I will not tolerate anything negative being said, and I am choosing on my own to talk about this, and I am choosing myself to open up about my life and these certain things in general. So I'm not here for criticism. I don't care about your judgment or your opinion, unless you have something nice to say. It's just gonna go in one ear and without the other, so don't waste your time with me, honestly. So I want to start off with how many people I have in my family, basically. So it is me, my younger sister, and my younger brother, and then my mom. So those are the people that I live with. Currently, we live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we live in Washington State. So I am the eldest. In my home, I do have 3 other siblings who are not living near me, and they're also my half siblings. They have a different dad, and they live in California, and one of my other brothers is going to be moving somewhere else. I'm not really sure where he's at right now. We don't really keep in contact with them very much. I saw them a couple of years ago, or maybe more than a couple. I think 2012 was the last time that I saw the eldest of all 3 brothers, and then the middle one, I have not seen him since I lived in California back when I was like, I don't even know how old. And then the youngest of the 3, I saw him like maybe 2015 or so, and my mom talks to him now and then, but not very often. We're not on the best terms with the 3 brothers, except for the eldest one sometimes keeps in touch with my mom over Facebook and everything. And so my youngest brother that lives with me is just my brother, my full brother, and he has the same dad as me, and so does my younger sister. She's only 4 years younger than me. My little brother is like 17 now, so he's gonna be turning 18 next year, which is wild to me. And obviously, as you guys can tell, I did not mention my dad because my dad has not been in the picture since 2015, where we finally said that we were going to detach ourselves from my dad because it was just a very toxic environment, and my dad made a lot of false promises to us. So we finally decided to detach ourselves from that. And me and my mom are head of household now. We make all of the money for, my younger siblings. My sister also works, but right now we're both unemployed, obviously because of the pandemic and everything. But before all of this, my mom and I were making the majority of the money, to pay all of our bills and just make it by. And my sister obviously contributed, but she's younger than me, so she would still keep a little bit for herself so she could go out with her friends and go out and do all of these different things. So being the eldest daughter has always been something very difficult. I wouldn't really want to call it a burden, but it has held me back from a lot of things that I wish I could have done in my life. Like, we never really had the money for me to go to college or anything, and I never wanted to put myself through collecting debt for something that I didn't really want to do. College was always something that you're prepared for in high school, but I never really wanted to go to college. I always wanted to try and see if I could find a career out there that I liked and enjoyed, that I didn't have to go to college for. And I did come up with some good opportunities that if I could grow in them, I could make potentially more money in my life. But right now I am still kind of out in open water trying to figure out what I want to do. I am 26 years old, so there is this stigma towards like people in their 20s that they have to have their life together. It's just this false picture of before you're 30 you have to have a house, have a car, have a career, and then be ready to have kids before you're 30, which is not something that is what's it called? Not something that I feel like I can achieve before I'm 30, and I don't feel like it's something that everybody should have to feel like they have to achieve before they're 30. Everybody has their own path, and everybody has gone through the things that they had to go through to get to where they are now. I have grown a lot. I have had to grow up really, really fast because my dad was always at work, and I always had to be the second parent with my mom because my mom isn't fluent in English, so I always had to be there to do stuff for my brother and my sister, to translate. I had to grow up very, very fast at an early age. I had to take care of my siblings when my mom had to go do stuff that my dad didn't have the time to do. And so we struggled a lot, and we struggled a lot to get to where we are now, because I feel like now we are at a better place in our lives than we were. But I just wanted to point out that we had to get out of that toxic environment and finally detach ourselves, and it took a long time to get to where I am now, where I have forgiven my dad and I wish him well wherever he is, because I don't have contact with him. But he did end up putting me in this position where, I come from immigrant parents who want to move here to provide the best life for their children, but I ended up being put in a spot where I had to step up and find, I was working 3 jobs at a time, trying to make as much money possible for my family, and I ended up having to become the head of household because my mom being in the position that she's in, she can't get the best job. She can only get what she can with her status. So it was not easy for us to be on our own. And now that I am at this age where I have a boyfriend that I've been with for 4+ years, and I want to build something of my own, I am stuck in a position where I have to think about what my family is going to do without me, because I obviously, like anybody else, I want to get my own place, have my own space, and I don't have that with my family here now. I actually share a room with my sister, as you guys have seen in various other videos that I always talk about how I hate being in the same room as her because we're just two completely opposite people. And I do want to get to a point in my life where I can have my own space, be with my boyfriend, get a pet, and live my life in a different setting. But I always have in the back of my mind, have to have my family in mind, and it's always been something very difficult because I have two different things that I want to take care of. I want to build a life with my boyfriend, and I want to also still take care of my family. So I now I am at a point where I'm trying to find the best possible solution and to find the best possible job so I can slowly make it out of here and not feel like I'm abandoning my family. And I feel like that is the only burden of being the oldest, is that you have to carry all of the baggage with you, and you have to always be thinking about your family and being the second parent, basically. My mom has done everything that she could, obviously, and with what we have available to us, and it hasn't been an easy route, it hasn't been an easy journey, but I just feel like there are other people out there that can relate to this. Being the eldest child, you have to be a parent, a second parent, especially when it comes to being the eldest child of immigrant parents. You always have to keep in consideration your family, and you always have to put them first and not yourself. And it's not something that just anybody could do. I feel like I am a pretty patient and strong person, because sometimes I just feel like being like, I should be selfish, I should just think about myself and go do what I want, and they could go figure it out. But I know in my heart I'm not that type of person, so I have never obviously done that. But I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about what it's like in my life, for real, because it's never just like rainbows and butterflies and everything's perfect, because it's not. We all go through our own struggles, and you never know what somebody is going through. And as much as I love my family, I feel like sometimes they don't realize how much I've sacrificed, I guess, and how much I've put off for them. And I obviously don't ever expect anything back from them. I don't do it to be like, oh, you guys owe this to me, Obviously it's not like that. It's just like something I have to do because they're my family. But sometimes you have to see that just because they're your family doesn't mean that you have to give everything of yourself to them, especially when you feel like you're taken for granted sometimes, and they don't see how much you really do. And now I understand where my mom comes from sometimes, because when we were younger, I feel like we took for granted a lot of the things that she did for us, especially because of how little my dad was in the picture and how much she had to compensate for that. So now that I'm older and I realize all the stuff that she has done and how I feel like I have to give back to her for that, and hopefully one day I'm in the position to be able to do that, be able to help her with bills while still paying for my own bills, and I will never obviously leave them out in the cold or anything like that, but I do feel like I want to step out of being the parent and have my own life and start my own family, I guess. I've never really thought about having kids or anything, but just start my own life with my partner and step up to that next level, because I feel like I've just been stuck in the same position since I was in high school. So definitely not an easy thing being the oldest, especially not the oldest daughter. You have a lot of expectations from your parents and everything, but I love my family, and I wouldn't change them for anything. And I just feel like I'm ready for that next chapter in my life. You know, I don't always just want to be the oldest daughter. I don't always just want to be in the same position. I want to move up. I want to do bigger things. I want to have bigger goals, and I want to be able to do it while still helping my family out, I guess. But anyways, guys, yeah, I just wanted to do this video to share with you guys a little bit of my life and open up a little bit more to you guys, so we feel like I'm more connected to you guys. So I feel like we're family. Like, you guys are a part of a community that I can express myself to, and that I can open up and talk to you guys to. So just let me know in the comments down below if you are in the similar position as me, or if, you know, if there's anybody in your life that's like me, or, you know, just anything that you would like to add in the comments. A nice comment, I would really appreciate it. I love talking to you guys down there. Whenever people do interact with my videos, it really does make my day. But with that being said, you guys, that is going to be it from me today. I hope that I did not bore you with my sob story, because that's definitely not what it was. It was just to share what it's like for me, as, you know, just like a Mexican woman, and being the eldest daughter and all of that, as I already said a million times in this video. But anyways, guys, I love you so much, and I appreciate if you made it all the way to the end of the video. As I said, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, or if you got anything out of this. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye bye.